Okay, maybe I'll just start. You have a unique situation where you've only been here a few weeks and new coach. Just some of your impressions of working with Renee, this team, and how it's been for you.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting transition and process. Obviously, with the situation the team's in, I came from a similar situation in Montreal, so I kind of know how the team feels, how the coach might be feeling, and looking at things. But Renee's a very straightforward and demanding coach. He has his ideas and he lets you play free inside those ideas, but he definitely gives you the message that he wants, and it's very clear. But I've enjoyed my time here so far, and just looking forward to the future.
You mentioned message that he wants. How would you describe that message or relay that message?
Yeah, I think it's at this point in time. Obviously, I've only played a handful of games, but just in training and when we go over film, not really paying attention on the opponent and more so ourselves and fixing our mistakes first, defensively. And um, he doesn't care what you do with the ball. Of course, you need to have some quality. You need to be able to perform, but he really values what you do off the ball. So I come from Red Bull, so I'm used to that. So for me, it's just staying focused in those moments and making sure I'm sharp defensively and let that translate to offense.
And you mentioned that is trying to be better in the final third, which is Renee talked about. Is being better off the ball a big part of that equation?
I think being better off the ball can lead to more open transitions and open opportunities. I always said, or I was always told in Red Bull that the defensive spark will give you the offensive spark. So I grew up with that mindset in my head, and I think I've gotten away from it a little bit playing in different systems. So for me to hear that, it's like coming home a little bit, you know. So it's a good thing, and we always got to buy into it together.
Oh, yeah, Caden, thanks for your time. And, you know, I'm sure you're settling in. So it's a little more general question. But how important as a player is it to psychologically get a win? Last game of the season, the fan base is starving for results. Um, Players, coaches. For you, how does that coming in new and everything? How do you feel the energy? Do you know about obviously the fan base and so forth?
Yes and no. I would say in the club I was just at, Montreal, I felt the fans. I could see their frustration. I could feel all those things and that pressure. And you do want to perform for them to give them some type of happiness, even though we're out of the playoffs. So I felt that before I joined DC. Pardon me. But I can assume it would be the same here. And I feel the energy within the guys. They want to do well for the team, for the club, and of course for yourselves. And you want to put your best foot forward with Renee. So I think it's easy to say we're all checked out and we don't care anymore about the season. That's not the case. I think a lot of people here are trying to prove themselves to the club and to Renee. So I think we're gonna go out there and play our ass off.
Great. Same thing. Question I asked Renee. When I played, it wasn't as much of a counterattacking type. This league is 100 miles an hour when you give away the ball. How do you see that?
That's funny you actually say that because I was thinking and saying the same thing to my agent. It's every chance we get, we go forward and we go balls to the wall. That is kind of what the league has become. I feel like is exposing teams in that way, which is very interesting because when you play Leagues Cup, I played Leagues Cup this year with Montreal. The games are very different flow, very different style, breaking down, very calm, and then it picks up and it slows down. So it's very interesting you bring that up, and I'm happy you see that because I think the league is going that way, and that's how the game is right now. It's how it is, so we have to be sharp in those moments.
Thanks.
I'm just curious, for me, you probably played against some of these guys that you share in the locker room with now. Is there any players in particular that have surprised you or that you've really enjoyed playing with since you first arrived?
Um, yeah, to be fair, I've gotten a handful of minutes with all sorts of players, so I haven't really felt like I've built a solid connection with with 1, 2, or 3. I would say in the moments that I have played in the games, I've really enjoyed playing with Connor. I think he surprised me, and the way he kind of gives me space to do my thing, but then helps me and then supports me and then gets around me if we're doing a 2v1 and just making the game really easy for me. So I would definitely say with the minutes I've had, I've really enjoyed playing with Connor.
And then finally, we have one on Zoom. Vikas, do you want to go? You still have your hand up? Yep.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Caden. I'm wondering, we've seen you play a couple different positions in your career, whether it's kind of further forward or deeper in midfield. It seems like you're, on the wing here a couple times. I was wondering if you could just talk about, for you, where do you feel most comfortable? What do you feel like your kind of best qualities that you bring to the pitch? Where would you kind of see yourself fitting into the team?
Yeah, I really enjoy right mid, right wing, left mid, left wing. I can play in the middle. I would say a diamond. I do really well on the outside of a diamond. So I have flexibility within those systems, which I think is a big asset of mine. Is I can play in different formations at different levels of the game. So for me, I'm enjoying where I'm playing right now, but it's also just learning my new teammates and the system and not overcomplicating things. But yeah, kind of anywhere in the left or right midfield, or sometimes in the center if need be. It's kind of free rolling in that role.
Next, we'll go to Dennis Gomez.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Caden, for your time. I just want to ask really quick, how has your time at DC been this past week since you joined, and how are you feeling physically?
Physically doing great. Knock on wood, no injuries. No more concussions like the first week I had here. But yeah, it was a little slow start with the concussion and just different trainings, different coaches, of course, different players, different system. But then it kind of gelled really quickly. In the Club America game, I got my opportunity, and I felt really good. The ideas were clear against a good opponent. And then now we're building off of that, and it's kind of unfortunate the season only has 2 games left, because this is like a moment where you want to push and you want to really solidify yourself and the team and try to get in a rhythm and a groove. And unfortunately, we're going to have a long break here. So that's going to be the most important, is to get better in that break and come back flying next year.
And lastly, what can you say to the fans who might not know much about you, and just what can you tell them about the game on Saturday?
Yeah, hopefully you've been able to see a little bit within the games I've played here. Just try to bring energy, some dynamic to the offense, and try to be a fun player to watch. I think I don't like to overdo things, but I like to play my style, and hopefully the fans enjoy that at moments, and try to get some more goals for you guys and get the win on Saturday.